Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd at 10:17 p.m. here in sunny California. Got some great stuff to share with you today. I'm going to answer a very important question in this video, so please stick around for the entirety of this video. The question that I'm going to answer today is, given all of the projections, all of the price predictions of where the top of this market is, how will we know when we've topped out? What will the signs be? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be looking for, what the signs will be, and how we will be able to tell whether or not the price predictions that we have made are going to hit or not. There's a way for us to know ahead of time. These charts will tell us, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be looking for as we start getting to the top of the market, what the indication will be that we've topped out and that it's time to turn around. So please stick around for this whole video so that I can explain that to you to the best of my ability. First thing I need to say is that I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. It's just my own opinion. So make your own decisions, use your own adult brain. All of that stuff goes without saying. Second thing I need to say is tomorrow is my 45th birthday. So I will not be making a video tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, my wife and I are going to San Francisco to the Van Gogh Museum. And then we're going to be spending the night in the city at a nice hotel and enjoying ourselves and having a wonderful time. So with that being said, my next video will be on Thursday. I will not be making a video tomorrow. Hope you all understand. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's jump into this Bitcoin chart. So as you can see, first of all, just kind of looking at Bitcoin, we're moving strongly above the whole suite indicator. This is a weekly chart, and we've got some targets here. So my lowest target's 103, and then 177, and then 210, and then 249,000. And actually I have higher targets on other charts. My question is, how will we know whether, is it just a shot in the dark, or is there any indication that can tell us how we'll know when we've gotten there? First, let's start with the short term. In the short term, I believe we're seeing somewhat of a breakout for Bitcoin here. If you take a look at what we've been doing on this daily chart, there's been this downward progression that we've broken above here. And breaking out above this here indicates to me that the odds of us breaking beneath this line have now decreased. We've had this downward regression, and now it looks to me that we've begun an upwards progression that looks probably something like this. And so I believe in the days to come, in the next few days, we're going to break above this line here at 66,998, and we are going to establish a new all-time high for Bitcoin, and it's going to move forward. Now, if I am right, what's going to happen is this RSI is going to turn up and start moving up towards the top of this line. At a certain point, it'll top out on the line and start moving downward. So we'll know that the press upward is done when we get to the top of this line. Then it's going to have to pull back for a few days as we come down towards either the middle or maybe even the bottom of this line. As you can see, we move to the top. We bounce off the top, then we move to the middle, we move to the bottom, then we're bouncing around in the middle. Now it's time for us to move towards the top again, and that means that Bitcoin is going to press forward in the days to come. I think that gives us a good indication. We've also seen in the RSI here that we've kind of broken above this line here, and so RSI looks strong, price action looks strong. MACDs are a lagging indicator, so they'll turn around at some point, but the RSI has already led the way. As you can see on the daily chart, the RSI has already made a higher low, and if we bounce on this line, we've continued to make another higher low, which is bullish. It just kind of confirms the technical analysis of our break above this line. And if Bitcoin goes on a rampage, it's going to slow down the altcoins, of course, because the money all goes into Bitcoin. Big Papa starts, whooping ass. XRP, I want to look at XRP for a second because we're finally getting some momentum. We're finally getting some movement. Look what happened with XRP. We had 4 consecutive lower highs on these weekly candles. This was an entire month of registering a lower high, and now we've broken above that, and we've broken above it with authority. We came right down to this line, and we've broken above that. And not only have we broken above that, but now we're hitting resistance right at the tip of this line here. If we can break above that, we are on our way. Not to mention, look at the RSI. The RSI is reaching upward, and so if the RSI continues to move in that direction, and look at this, even the MACDs have turned bullish for us. Take a look at that. So if we got bullish MACDs, bullish RSI, and some really nice bullish price action, that means we're seeing some movement from XRP, which is highly welcome. Take a look at DOT. DOT has registered today. It's registered a new all-time high, just over $50, about $51. So that's an all-time high for DOT. And right now, it's resting right on its previous tip, right on its previous all-time high at about $49.90-something cents. So this is strong breakout for DOT. The RSI is also bullish for DOT, and it's been bullish for quite a while. So I've got high hopes for DOT in the days to come. What else was I looking at? Oh, the total crypto market cap. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me, but it didn't dawn on me till today that 2 weeks ago we registered a new all-time high for the total crypto market, and we've maintained that high, and we are now, solidly resting above the previous all-time high was 2.5 trillion. Now we're at 2.72 trillion. So that is huge news for the crypto sphere. And once again, just looking at the total crypto market cap, it's moving strongly bullish and in the upward trajectory. So we will see how far we are able to go with the total crypto market cap. As I projected here before, if the market cap hits 7.75 trillion, that's going to be about 184,000 Bitcoin at 50% Bitcoin dominance, which may or may not be the case. If we hit 12 trillion, somewhere around a $292,000 Bitcoin. If we hit 21 trillion, that's a $500,000 Bitcoin. So, my projections of there being $170,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin corresponds to my projection of the total crypto market cap being between 7.75 and $12 million by $12 trillion by the end of the cycle. I know a lot of people think that's just nonsense, and you have every right to think that. My thing is, if you don't believe in these numbers, you honestly don't believe in the revolutionary value of crypto. Crypto is a revolution, and it's going to transform the financial landscape of the world, not just of this country. It's interesting. I did a video on the crypto market cap recently, and I talked about the possibility of a $21 trillion crypto market cap, and somebody wrote in the comments, that's more than the U.S. national debt. And my response was, what does the crypto market have to do with the U.S. national debt? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The United States of America is a country. Cryptocurrency is a worldwide phenomenon. It is not connected to we're not looking to the United States to finance the whole $21 trillion. I mean, it's a worldwide money from all over the world. We keep getting this. I don't know why we Americans, we're so America-centric that we tend to think of the total crypto market in terms of what America is able to do. That's why I believe in XRP so strongly. People say, well, what about the SEC? The SEC is an American organization. It cannot regulate a worldwide asset like XRP. All it can do is say, here are the rules for America. But that's the best it could possibly do. And so when I'm looking at the total crypto market cap, $2 trillion, $2.7 trillion is not a revolution by any stretch of the imagination. If we truly believe in the technology behind the blockchain that has the capacity to transform the economic and financial systems of the world and to disrupt financial and economic systems of the world, $2 trillion is not anywhere near. I mean, when the stock market is What's the stock market? 95 trillion. Bonds are 119 trillion. So guys, we got to think a lot bigger than we've been thinking. But back to my original question. I know you've been patient. I'm going to answer the question now. Back to my original question. How will we know, even looking at this total crypto market cap, how do we know if we're going to get anywhere near these numbers or not? So let's go back to Bitcoin, and I'll show you how the RSI tells us, basically. The RSI, it's very, very simple. And let me show you. Once the RSI got to the top of this line here on January 4th, 2021, we were at the apex of the momentum of the market. However, we were not at the apex of the price. From this top to this top, where was the top? Here. There was still another 50% to go. Okay? And the time period, well, I can just tell you, from the first week of January to the second week of April. January, February, March, and then the second week of April. So it was 3 months in advance. So the RSI telegraphed 3 months ahead of time that there's going to be diminishing returns. We're still going higher, but we're going to see diminishing returns. But what happened prior to that? There was this huge run-up, and then we hit the top. We didn't see anything like that huge run-up after we hit that top. From the moment we hit that top, if we had another run like that, we would have went all the way up to 150,000, but we didn't. Once the RSI hit the top of the trend, the energy had already begun to leave the wine. The fire had already begun to run out. The battery had already begun to run out. And when we begun to see that first lower high in the RSI, I was looking at this RSI and I was calling it in all of my videos. Like, look, we're seeing bearish divergence in the RSI. We can't go too much further. And then when we saw the diminishing returns, each high was smaller than the last high. It's almost like it's obvious at that point that the market is topping out. Now, the RSI went all the way back down to the bottom and reset. From the moment we hit the high on April 12th to the bottom of the RSI, July 12th. May, June, July, 3 months. So it was 3 months from the top of the RSI to the top of the price. And then it was 3 months from the top of the price to the bottom of the RSI. So once the RSI got to the bottom of this line and then made a higher high, that's the indication already that the market is in recovery mode. So here's my plan. My plan is simple. When this line gets to the top of this line, we're back here again. And once we make that first lower high, I'm looking for the RSI to top out again. And once it tops out, it doesn't mean we're at the top of the market. It doesn't mean that the price is going to immediately plunge. It simply means that we're probably going to see some bearish divergence in the RSI as the price finishes its final run to the top. And we're going to do that with every asset. I mean, same thing with XRP. When the RSI and XRP gets to the top of this line, that's when we start calling it. If it breaks above this line, we're not simply looking for the touch of the line, but we're looking for that first lower high. It gets to the top and then it makes a lower high. That's an indication that the energy has begun to leave the wine, that the market has topped out. Same thing with DOT. How do I know if we're going to make it all the way up here to $472? Well, I'm going to draw a line at the top of this RSI here. Now, how do I know if it's going to go all the way to this top? I don't know. But at a certain point, you see how it's made a higher high and higher lows? At a certain point, it'll be obvious it's topped out because now we're making lower lows. I mean, look at this. Lower highs, lower lows. This was obviously bearish. By the time you get here to the second lower high, it's clear we're in decline. By the time we got here, it's abundantly clear we're in decline. And so we're simply going to watch the RSI. And we're looking for the RSI to top out and begin to make bearish divergence. The beautiful thing about the RSI is that the RSI telegraphs this junk. The RSI says, here's what's about to happen. The energy has already begun to leave the wine. It's only a matter of time that this asset's getting ready to go in decline. And so wherever we are at that point, that's when we'll say, okay, we projected a possible $19 Cardano, but here's where it is. And so we're going to start planning accordingly. Basically, we're going to adjust our plan. We're going to adjust our profit take strategy according to reality. Okay? So we make projections, and we can make projections till we're blue in the face. But at the end of the day, we're simply looking at the indicators, and the indicators are going to tell us what's real. And that's how we're going to know when to start taking profits and when to start moving in this market. That makes sense? All right, folks, that's all I got to share with you today. Hey, somebody told me that my Telegram link is broken. I apologize for that. Yeah, just do me a favor and smash the like button on this video. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Leave me a comment letting me know what you think of this content. Visit my Patreon if you're interested at patreon.com/cryptogenic. And above all, make every effort to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.